Hey, it's me, MLB, back for another chapter of Serendipity. This is chapter 49, and this one's titled Pre-Wedding Night Blunders. Tomorrow's the big day, Deku said excitedly. Should we get takeaway tonight? Yeah, I don't really feel like cooking, you admitted. We have to eat quickly, though. We have a practice run of the ceremony tonight at 8 p.m. We do? Oh, we do, he gasped. I'll make the call now then. The food should be here in a half hour, which means that we'll have an early dinner, but that might be the best. Then we can get something else to eat after practice if we're hungry. But if we get a big meal now, maybe it will hold us till tomorrow. I don't think... Izu, you chuckled, reaching up and pressing your finger against his lips. It's fine. That sounds good to me. He grinned. Okay, should we get our usual? Yes, perfect, he replied with a smile, giving him a hug. I love how you always have a solution for everything. Exactly a half hour later, the Uber Eats driver dropped your food at the doorstep, and Deku got it and brought it inside. Dinner's here, he called to you. You bounded out into the hall and skipped merrily down to the lounge room. I'm all ready to go. Hair and makeup artist will be here tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. And I'll be gone by 6 a.m. then, Deku smiled. Todoroki has offered for us to get ready at his place tomorrow. That's very kind of him, you said with a smile as you opened your dinner. He's very considerate like that, Deku replied, opening his meal as well. You chatted as you ate, digging into the food, and in no time you'd completely finished it. Ah, that was delicious, you said. It wasn't too hot either, so I could just slam it down. Now we can relax a little until the practice, Deku looked at his watch. It's just after 6 p.m. Did you want to watch a few episodes of that show we just started? You asked. The episodes are about 20 minutes long. Okay, he said with a smile. You felt content and relaxed as you snuggled into Deku's side and allowed your mind to switch off and enter into the show, and once you'd finished a few episodes, you both got up and got ready to leave. Have you got the run sheet? You called to Deku as you pulled your shoes on. Right here, he replied with a smile as he walked down to the door. You gave him a kiss, then off you went to practice. The quaint little church that was built at the front of the vineyards was a hive of activity. Todoroki and his wife Gem were there with Soshi, their little boy, and Bakugo had brought his little boy, Chisuki, along as well. Both kids were a little under 2 years of age and walking well. Hi, Gem, you greeted Todoroki's wife. She was a sweetheart, and you two had a lot in common. Deku had always told you that sometimes, at a quick glance, you even looked like her. You took this as a huge compliment because she was a very pretty person, and you loved being in her presence. Hi, Yin. Are you ready for tomorrow? She asked with a gentle smile. You hummed in an unsure manner. She smiled softly and reached a hand out to touch your arm. It will all go smoothly, she said. Don't worry, just enjoy yourself. Tomorrow, everyone looks out for you, so if anything goes wrong, it's no longer your problem and others will race to fix it for you. Thanks, Gem, you said with a grateful smile. She smiled. Mummy? Soshi's little voice called up to her as he tugged on her pants. Yes, honey? She looked down at him. Drink? He asked cutely, his round orange eyes gazing up at her as he flopped his head right back to be able to fit her all in the picture from the low angle that he was at. Sure, she said, with a smile, and pulled his drink bottle out from her bag of goodies. He took a few sips, then handed it back to her and toddled off, and you smiled. What's it like being a mum? You asked. It's lovely, but it can be tiring, she admitted with a soft giggle. Do you want to have children in the future? Yes, you smiled. I'd love to see Izuku as a father. You looked over to where he and Todoroki were in deep discussion, and smiled to yourself. Good evening, everybody, the voice of the wedding officiator called as he walked into the church. You looked over at him and smiled. I'd better go, Gem. I'll be back, you said to her. Good luck, she called, as he walked over to join Deku near the front podium of the church. The practice went well, and everyone understood the proceedings, and by 10 p.m. you were about ready to pack up and go home to sleep. Your stomach had started to feel a little queasy, and your face had felt a little hot, but you just put it down to the adrenaline rush from pre-wedding day highs, and you and Deku said a quick goodbye to everyone, and then headed out to the waiting taxi. Soshi and Chisuki were so well behaved, you commented to Deku as you hopped into the Uber beside him. They fell asleep around 8:30 p.m, he chuckled. Both were sleeping with their heads on Gem's lap. Aww, you cooed, rubbing your tummy slightly. Is your tummy sore? Deku asked when he saw you holding it. It just feels a little weird and gurgly, you said. My head doesn't feel too good either, but I think I just need to rest and sleep. Yeah, I'm not feeling the greatest as well, Deku admitted. But yes, I think you might be right. We just need to rest. You nodded and rested your head on his shoulder. You both got home and prepared for bed, slipping between the sheets and cuddling up together, but you were starting to feel worse, and so was Deku. I really don't feel good, you whispered to Deku as a sharp pain stabbed you in the stomach. Same, Deku groaned softly, his brows feeling a little sweaty. Did we get food poisoning? You whispered to him. I don't know, but I need to use the bathroom, he said, quickly getting out of bed and running for the ensuite. You rolled over onto your other side and pulled your knees up to your chest. Suddenly, a wave of nausea washed over you and you clutched your hand to your mouth as you threw the covers back. Oh dear, that doesn't sound good. Stay tuned for the next chapter, chapter 50.